The sun was just beginning to set over the quiet neighborhood of Maplewood Hills, casting a warm golden glow on the perfect little homes that lined the street. Wind chimes danced softly on the porches, and somewhere a sprinkler hissed into life. Everything seemed in place, peaceful, content, untouched. But on that particular evening, something was very out of place. Sitting on the curb, near the driveway of the Williams family home, was a girl no one had seen before. Her clothes were torn, her jeans shredded at the knees, and her hoodie was stained, sagging on her small frame like it was holding more than just fabric, maybe stories, maybe pain, maybe a lifetime. Her face had a fatting bruise along one cheekbone, and her eyes were locked on the ground. People passed by, some slowed, some stared, some looked away quickly, pretending not to notice. But someone did notice. 6-year-old Lily had just finished her ice cream cone and was walking hand in hand with her father, Daniel. He was a hard-working man, an architect who balanced single parenting with the exhaustion of deadlines and the memories of a wife gone too soon. They had been talking about butterflies when Lily stopped walking. "Daddy," she said, looking up at him. "Yes, sweetheart. Why is that girl sitting on our street?" Daniel followed her gaze. When he saw the girl, his heart sank. She looked so young, 16, maybe 17, but it was the way she sat that struck him most. She wasn't begging. She wasn't doing anything at all, just existing, just surviving. He squeezed Lily's hand. "I don't know," he said gently. "Maybe she's waiting for someone." Lily stared a moment longer, then turned back to him with the question that would change their lives forever. "Can she live with us, Daddy?" Daniel hesitated. Time slowed. He blinked. "What?" Lily repeated, her voice even quieter now, but more serious. "She looks like she doesn't have a place to go. We have an extra bed." Daniel knelt down to Lily's level. "Honey, helping someone is a big responsibility. It's not just giving a bed, it's food, care, safety." Lily nodded. "I can share my cereal." Daniel looked over at the girl again, and something inside him, a memory maybe, of the wife he lost to cancer 3 years ago, rose up. Amy had been the one with the heart that never said no, and Lily had her heart. He sighed. "All right, let's go talk to her, but carefully." He approached the girl slowly. "Hey," he said gently, "you okay?" The girl didn't answer at first. She looked up, startled, her eyes red and guarded. "I'm fine," she said quickly. "You're not," Daniel replied softly. "You look like you've been through a lot." She clutched her backpack tighter. "I don't need anything." Daniel glanced at Lily, who stood beside him, unafraid. "I'm Daniel. This is my daughter, Lily. She asked me if you could stay with us tonight. Just one night. You don't have to say yes." The girl stared at Lily for a long time. Then, with a barely there nod, she whispered, "My name's Grace." That night, Grace slept on the couch. Lily gave her the soft pink blanket her mother had knitted before she died. Daniel made pasta, and Grace ate like she hadn't had a meal in days. She didn't talk much. She didn't smile, but she didn't leave either. In the days that followed, Grace became a silent presence in their home. She would wake up before anyone, clean the kitchen without being asked, and then disappear into the background. Daniel tried asking questions, but she always gave short answers. What became clear was this: Grace had no one, no family, no friends, no school. She had been in and out of foster care since she was 10, abused in one home, neglected in another. When she aged out of her last placement at 16, she bounced around, couch to couch, park bench to shelter. The bruises weren't fresh, but they were real. Daniel wanted to help, but it wasn't easy. He contacted social services. They told him that without legal guardianship, he couldn't enroll her in school or get her medical help. But the foster system was full. No room, no support. If Grace went back into the system, she'd likely run again. He looked at her one evening, watching cartoons beside Lily, her hand lightly resting on the child's head, and he knew. "I'm going to file for temporary custody," he told her. Grace's eyes widened. "Why would you do that?" Daniel shrugged. "Because Lily asked me to let you stay, and because I agree with her." Tears welled up in Grace's eyes. She stood up abruptly. "You don't even know me. What if I'm dangerous? What if I steal from you? What if I mess everything up?" Daniel didn't flinch. "Then I'll deal with it, but I believe you're more than what happened to you." That moment broke something open inside her. From that day forward, Grace started changing. She started laughing with Lily. She started asking for seconds at dinner. She began to share pieces of her past, her mother's addiction, her father's disappearance, the night she fled a foster home in the middle of winter with only a sweater and her school bag. The legal process was long, court hearings, home inspections, interviews, but Daniel never wavered. He was there for every form, every lawyer call, every judge's question. And through it all, Lily was there too, drawing family pictures with 3 people now, sitting beside Grace when nightmares hit, holding her hand in the courtroom when the judge finally said the words that made everything real. Temporary custody granted to Mr. Daniel Williams. Grace broke down in the hallway afterward. "No one ever fought for me before," she said, burying her face in Daniel's shoulder. "I didn't do it alone," he said, smiling toward Lily. A year passed. Grace started high school again late but determined. She caught up fast. She had a gift for writing. Her essays were raw, powerful, filled with emotion and grit. Teachers started paying attention. Colleges started sending mail. At Lily's school open house one evening, someone asked if Grace was Daniel's daughter. He paused, looked at the 2 girls laughing ahead of him, and said without hesitation, "Yes." Grace graduated with honors. She gave a speech. In front of hundreds of people, she told her story, not for sympathy, but for truth. "I was invisible for most of my life. People walked past me, but one little girl stopped. One little girl pointed and asked her father a question that changed everything." She looked toward the front row, where Daniel and Lily sat, tears in their eyes. She said, "Can she live with us, Daddy?" And he said yes. That line went viral when the school posted the speech online. Grace's story reached thousands. Offers poured in, scholarships, interviews, support. But all she cared about was this: she had a home, she had people who saw her, loved her, fought for her. Years later, Grace became a youth counselor, helping girls who had been through what she survived. She kept the drawing Lily gave her framed above her desk, 3 people holding hands under a big house with hearts floating over their heads. She told every girl who walked into her office the same thing: "You're not invisible. Someone will see you, someone will fight for you, and sometimes it starts with a little girl pointing and asking the right question." Because the truth is, Grace had nowhere to sleep. But now, she has a family. She has a future. She has a forever.